Title: Flamebert the Slightly Chubby Dragon Who Found His Roar. In the land of Charcoalia, where volcanoes belched with rhythm and lava flowed like fondue at a wizard's bachelor party, there lived a dragon named Flamebert. Now, Flamebert wasn't your typical dragon. He wasn't sleek or terrifying. He wasn't covered in razor-sharp spikes or ancient runes. No, Flamebert was fluffy. His wings were small for his frame, his scales were a bit dull, more of a burnt orange than molten gold, and his fire breath came out more like a warm burp than a raging inferno. He was, in a word, adorable, which was a problem. Dragons, by tradition and peer pressure, were supposed to be majestic terrors of the sky. Flamebert, however, looked like he had been raised on marshmallows and motivational quotes. The other dragons laughed at him. "Hey, Flamebert," one would snicker. "Roasted any villagers lately or just another batch of s'mores? Maybe you can join the My Fire's Room Temperature Club." They'd cackle. Despite the ridicule, Flamebert had a dream. A big, ridiculous puff pastry dream. He wanted to become the fiercest, most respected motivational speaker in the realm. Yes, not a warlord. Not a treasure hoarder, a motivational speaker. The spark Flamebert's dream began after he attended a seminar called Unleash the Dragon Within, hosted by a suspiciously enthusiastic unicorn named Chadgorn. Something about Chadgorn's glittery flip chart and PowerPoint transitions moved Flamebert deeply. "I will change lives," Flamebert vowed, between bites of caramelized sheep, so he trained. He read books like Speak Like a Phoenix and 7 Habits of Highly Incinerated Villages, though he skipped the arson parts. He practiced in front of his cave mirror, delivering fiery monologues to a supportive pile of rocks he named Audience Prime. He even joined a dragon Toastmasters group, though they mostly just toasted actual bread. Wrought the fall and the epic slide into lava. One fateful day, Flamebert landed his first gig, delivering a keynote speech at the annual Goblin Self-Esteem Festival. He was pumped, he even had cue cards. But halfway through his opening line, "You are more than your warts," he tripped on his tail, face planted into his podium, and accidentally let out a belch of flame that roasted all the front row goblins into what could only be described as crispy confidence boosters. Panic. The goblins ran, the banners caught fire, the therapy goats fainted. Flamebert was banned from public speaking and goblin-based events for life. He retreated to his cave, humiliated. He spent weeks binge-eating charred turnips and watching reruns of Real House Gargoyles of the Stone Coast. The rise, cue dramatic music and slow-motion wing flap. But then, something happened. As he sat in his cave, surrounded by empty jars of pickled kobold feet, he heard a small voice. "Excuse me, Great Dragon?" It was a nervous squirrel in a bow tie named Norbert. You talking to me?" Flamebert asked, half covered in a blanket labeled "Do Not Disturb My Dreams." "Yes, I saw you at the Goblin Festival. You said, even if the world laughs at you, keep flying." That really stuck with me. And now I'm starting my own acorn distribution business. Flamebert blinked. "You liked the speech? Liked it?" I cried so hard I almost drowned in my own eye juices. Something inside Flamebert lit up, not just indigestion, but hope. The roar heard round the realm word spread. More creatures came to hear Flamebert speak, not just squirrels, but anxious trolls, nervous centaurs, underemployed elves, and one emotionally unavailable kraken. Flamebert became famous. He toured kingdoms with his new catchphrase, "You don't need to be fearsome to be fierce. Just be you, but slightly on fire." He published a best-selling scroll, Hot Tips for Cold-Blooded Confidence. He even did a TED Talk, Trolls, Elves, and Dragons, though the projector burst into flames halfway through. The legacy years later, a statue stood in the center of Charcoalia. Flamebert, slightly chubby, wings outstretched, mouth mid-burp, eyes full of purpose. And below the statue, engraved in obsidian, was his most famous quote. "Sometimes your fire is weird. That's okay. Roast on." Moral of the story. You don't have to be sharp, sleek, or traditionally scary to make an impact. Sometimes all it takes is a warm heart, a few belly flops, and the courage to burp your truth into the world.